Hello, my name is Jada Costly, and today I'm going to be talking about why I believe that poor education is a social problem today that may affect poverty. So, the first thing I will be talking about is why I believe poor education is a social problem that may affect poverty. For many years, education has been changing over time, and it may be something that may be harder for new people to learn. In America, there are 12 grades, and there's also college. Many students or many poor families aren't able to reach out and get education because it isn't in their budget. Private schools are very expensive. Public schools are sometimes very dangerous in certain areas, and some people might not put their children in public schools. Charter schools are also another source of money that many people who are poor do not have. So, all of these affect why certain families and certain children grow up without education, and because of them growing up without education, this becomes a social problem. This becomes a social problem for people because in that social area, without education, it's harder to get a job, and without a job, it's harder to get money. This is also a lack of wealth or a lack of income, and without a lack of income, there isn't anywhere to stay, there isn't anywhere for you to drive your car, and many people with lack of education are not able to move up in life because of this. All of education helps us move on into a certain level in life. With education, it's easier to get a car, it's easier to get a house because we know what to do and it's like simple. But people who don't have education, they cannot do the same thing, so this becomes a social problem. With this social problem, it then takes a toll on the community. And the community that has less education or isn't available for education for everyone, it then becomes slow. A lot of people don't have jobs and it becomes poor, and everyone there just becomes considered dumb or not being considered help. So, the purpose statement for me would be that education has been a social problem that affects poor families for years. And because of this, it becomes a cause of lack of skills, lack of wealth, and also a lack of income. All of these things fit into why becomes a social problem for not just people in America, but also people in all around the globe. I believe that education is a social problem because it affects poverty globally. Not only is education important for people in America, but it is also important for people around the world. For people around the world without education, it's very similar to here. It's very hard to get a car, it's very hard to get a house, it's very hard to move on and up in life because you aren't aware of the things that you need. For example, without education, it's hard to get credit because you didn't even know you needed credit. And without education, you can't really move on. So, I think that education can be solved in many organizations and um, many groups around the world that may help education. And here in America, there's a group or an organization called YAM, and this organization teaches leadership skills for women for free. And this is helpful because when people don't have a way of getting certain education, they then move on to something that is more convenient to them or something that is helpful for them. And because of these organizations being helpful and being around, it then helps and builds strong women and strong individuals. With this, it helps build a strong economy, and it helps bring a strong a strong group, basically. And with this group, it's easier because now they won't be known as slow or poor or low poverty or lack of knowledge because of these organizations helping. There's also an organization in India as well, helping poor families read and write through the help of wealthy communities. So in India, there's a group called BAB, and it's a group where people that are more wealthy come out to neighborhoods and they bring out food and they bring out music and stuff and groups for people who do not have that. And with people who don't have that and that are seeing this, it seems like they're behind. But this way, it helps them understand what they're missing out on, and it helps them have a drive or a strive to become smarter or to try to find education the way that they can. My resources for this were Maryland.org, Borgen Project, and I also watched this YouTube video that I will link in the description as well for my source, called The Inheritance of Poverty. In this video, it basically talks about how poverty has moved down through generational and how this may be a generational curse. But I believe that with these groups and these organizations, poverty can be broken. This generational curse can be broken, and that it won't be such a big social problem. I also use Research Chromatic, and it's a relationship between poverty and and education. And I also use global.com, academic product making, to source my video as well. And that is it for my why I believe education is a social problem that affects poverty. My name is Jada Costley. Thank you.